A song reaches its best moment, the one you've been waiting for, and your arm does something strange. Tiny bumps rise across your skin. Every hair stands up. You didn't decide to do that. You couldn't stop it if you tried. Something older than you just took control of your body for 2 seconds. So what is it, and why is it still in there? Let's zoom in. Right now, look at your arm. Every single hair growing out of it sits in a tiny pocket in your skin called a follicle. And attached to the side of that follicle is a muscle. Beneath much of your hair-bearing skin sit tiny smooth muscles called arrector pili. They are far too small to see, and there is a lot of skin involved. Humans have roughly 5 million hair follicles across the body. Almost none of you is truly bare. When that muscle contracts, it pulls on the base of the hair, tilts it upright, and tugs the skin around it into a small dome. That dome is the goosebump. So goosebumps are not something on your skin. They are your skin, being pulled from underneath, everywhere at once. Now the real question. Why do you carry tiny muscles all over your body whose only job is to make your skin lumpy? To answer that, we have to look at a body that isn't yours. Picture an animal covered in thick fur. Cold air arrives. Every hair on its body lifts at once, and the fur puffs outward. That puffed fur traps a layer of air against the skin, and that trapped air is warmth. It's the same reason a winter jacket works. The jacket does not heat you. It holds still air around you. Fur does exactly that, and standing the fur up makes the layer thicker. That is job number 1. Here is job number 2. A cat meets a dog in an alley. Instantly, the cat doubles in size. Its tail swells, its back arches, the fur rises in a ridge along its spine. It has not gained a single gram. Every hair simply stood up, and in a fight you might lose, looking twice as large is completely free. You see the same trick everywhere in nature. A frightened bird fluffs out. A threatened chimpanzee's hair rises, and it appears to swell. So 1 reflex, 2 ancient jobs. Warmth and looking dangerous. And both of them depend on one thing. You have to have fur, which is where your body runs into a problem. Somewhere over 1 million years ago, our ancestors lost theirs. We became the strange, mostly bare ape, the only primate you can look at and see skin. And there are good reasons for it. Our ancestors moved out of shade and into hot open country, and they started walking and running long distances in daylight. Fur is superb at holding heat in, which is exactly the wrong feature when you are overheating. Bare skin, covered in millions of sweat glands, is a far better cooling system. That trade, fur for sweat, is part of what allowed early humans to chase animals through the hottest part of the day until the animal overheated and stopped. There are other ideas too. Less fur means fewer ticks, fleas, and lice. But whatever the exact mix of reasons, the outcome is not in doubt. The coat went away. And evolution does not tidy up. When a job disappears, the machinery for that job is not removed. It is simply left there, still wired in, still switching on, as long as it does not cost too much to keep. So we lost the fur, and we kept much of the machinery that used to lift it. Today, when you step out of a hot shower into cold air, your body does precisely what it did 2 million years ago. It fires the muscles, stands up the hairs, and prepares to trap a thick warm layer of air inside a fur coat you no longer own. The reflex is perfect. The equipment is gone. It's a factory still running the machine for a product that was discontinued 1 million years ago. Cold explains some goosebumps. Fear explains others. When something moves in a dark house, when you sense someone behind you, that same reflex fires because your body is still trying to make you look bigger to a predator that isn't there. But none of that explains the ones that actually matter to us. Because you also get goosebumps from a song, from a scene in a film, from someone saying something true at exactly the right moment, from a crowd singing together. There is no cold. Nothing is hunting you. So why does an ancient fur reflex fire when a violin comes in? Here is what is going on. That muscle is not wired to your thoughts. You cannot contract it by deciding to, the way you move a finger. It is controlled by the sympathetic nervous system, the automatic branch that also runs your fight or flight response. And that system does not have a separate setting for beauty. Strong emotion can activate that system, and the goosebump reflex may come along with it. Researchers call this musical frisson. Many people experience it, though not everyone does. And the effect is not random. Brain imaging work has linked those chills to dopamine, released at moments when a piece of music builds an expectation and then delivers on it. Your brain quietly predicts what is coming next. The music resolves, and your body, which has no way of saying that was beautiful, reaches for the only vocabulary it has and raises fur that is not there. Researchers have also found that people who get chills more often tend to score higher on openness to experience, the trait linked to absorption in art and ideas. Which means that wave up your arms is partly a fingerprint of how you are wired. And there is one more oddity. A small number of people can trigger goosebumps deliberately, on command, with no cold and no music at all. Researchers have studied them. They describe it as tensing something in the back of the head or neck. Nobody fully understands how they do it. But it means the door between will and this ancient reflex is not completely locked for everyone. Now, for a long time, all of this was filed under one dismissive word: vestigial, a leftover, useless machinery from an older animal. Then, in 2020, a study at Harvard reported the opposite. Working in mice, researchers found that this muscle helps hold the sympathetic nerve's connection to the stem cells that grow new hair. Under prolonged cold, that same nerve activated those stem cells and sped up new hair growth. Whether this system does the same job in a human body is not yet established. But in mice, at least, the muscle written off as useless turns out to be part of the machinery that grows the code, not just the machinery that lifts it. So the next time your arms erupt because a song hit you exactly right, remember what is actually happening under the skin. Muscles that evolved to puff up a coat you lost more than 1,000,000 years ago just fired, all at once, in perfect coordination, because a sound was beautiful. Your body does not know the fur is gone. It is running very old software on hardware that quietly changed underneath it. And every time you feel that wave climb your arms, you are feeling a message from an animal you used to be.